Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to an excited Wrestling Days because this was a big Firefly Fun House episode. Certainly at the time of watching it, I enjoyed it. Didn't feel like it was anything that special. Felt like it was just an advert, really, a promo for Crown Jewel. I think we'd built it up so much because we didn't know if the Funhouse was even going to return. Thankfully, it has. So we know that the Funhouse is seemingly here to stay. Fox even came out on Twitter the other day and said, you thought that we didn't like the Funhouse. It returns this Friday. The set is the same as it was before. The backstage set. There's no window added or door that's been added or anything like that. It's literally just the wall with the table in front. I don't mind that. I think it works. I think it's fine. But there's definitely stuff in this that you can read into. This could be quite a significant episode, and it doesn't seem that way at first. The first thing that really jumps out, and this was mentioned on our live stream, was the fact that the Undertaker's music is heard at the start. And this is very exciting because they obviously didn't have to do a funeral. If you think about it, this episode, they're teasing that Ramblin Rabbit is dead and then he comes back. So they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to have this funeral. But it's very interesting that they've decided in the last episode before Crown Jewel to have a funeral, to have Undertaker's music included. I honestly think that at Crown Jewel, Seth will retain thanks to The Undertaker. That's my prediction. I'm going to stick with it. I think The Undertaker is getting involved in this match. He was on a massive float promoting WWE, promoting this show. WWE have come out and made it known he won't be there. I think he will. I don't think he's got a scheduled match, but I don't think they're going to want to let down the Saudi Arabian fans that are going to be in attendance. Some of them might be going to their first WWE show, so I don't think they're going to let them down. Surely they want Undertaker on every card. He's probably the biggest superstar they've got. Certainly the biggest name. I don't know if Hulk Hogan's name value is quite as strong as it was at the moment, but Undertaker's certainly is. And I really think they're going to want him on this show, and it really wouldn't surprise me to see him getting involved in this match because we had the clock, we had 11:19, and a lot of speculation as to what that meant. A lot of people thinking that was the debut of The Undertaker. That's the date that Undertaker made his debut, and now fast forward a few weeks, and we've got them actually playing The Undertaker's entrance music during a Firefly Funhouse episode. What's really interesting, of course, is that his music is based on Chopin's Funeral March, so it is a piece of music that you would use for this occasion, so we could be reading a bit too much into it, but I do start to think there's a lot here of evidence that's being built up. So I really do feel like there's something in that. Moving on. So as we said, the Funhouse back as it was before, and Ramblin Rabbit has been killed. He was burnt in the fire, and so this is a funeral. It's quite funny because the only person that died was Seth's biggest fan. The only puppet to pass away was the one that loved Seth the most, Ramblin Rabbit, who dressed up as Seth Rollins. And obviously, Ramblin Rabbit makes perfect sense, is the one that always dies as well. So I kind of felt like we might get Ramblin Rabbit return. I was worried, though. I didn't think anything could die in the Funhouse, so to start with an actual funeral, and then we would even see Ramblin Rabbit a little later, and he wasn't in the best condition. But they did definitely have me convinced for a moment that he might have passed away. We heard a few words from the other puppets as well. And obviously they were all in black. They were all in mourning. Abby couldn't seem to find any nice words. She came out with the line, "He talked too much." Huskus came out and said, he introduced me to carrot cake. And Mercy said he was a good dinner. So they all shared their own thoughts about Ramblin' Rabbit. What was quite interesting was Bray said Ramblin' Rabbit's mama always said he would want an open casket. How did that conversation ever come about? When did Funhouse Bray speak to Ramblin' Rabbit's mom about the fact that he would want an open casket? Is this got some connection, do we think, to the fact that Bray, when Bray dies, he wants an open casket? Because, of course, Ramblin' Rabbit is a part of Bray. So is Bray actually talking about his own mother? Is Bray talking about the fact that when he dies, he wants an open casket? Just something that I thought was quite interesting. Of course, we would see Ramblin' Rabbit as well, and he was horrific, like a horrible head wound. And this is when things got very interesting because we saw the heel glove. Bray would actually say a few words. "Good night, sweet prince." Said those words. And kind of very interesting how we saw the heel glove. Obviously, we heard the sounds. And then Ramblin' Rabbit would return, would come back to life, and would tell us where he had been as well. We're guessing he went to hell, and we're guessing that he saw Vince McMahon because he said he was at a place that was really hot. There was someone in a Muscle Man dance suit that kept firing him, kept telling him, "You're fired." And we know that Bray thinks that Vince is the devil, because we've seen the puppet with the devil horns. Yeah, I just thought it was a nice little reference to the fact that Ramblin' Rabbit had visited hell and had seen Vince McMahon. Saw someone in a Muscle Man dance suit, someone that was jacked, that kept firing him. So I do love these little hidden things that you've just got to, they might pass you by the first time, but when you watch it a couple more times, then you do pick up on some of these references. Of course, it wouldn't last for long, and sadly, Ramblin' Rabbit would be eaten by Mercy, who did say that he was a really good dinner. Before he got eaten, though, Bray would look at his gloves, at the heel glove in particular, and say the line, "All you have to do is believe in the power," and before he could finish that line, that's when Mercy devoured Ramblin' Rabbit. So really interesting stuff here. A lot of people want to know what that heel glove does, and I think we got our first sign of it. There was speculation that the heel glove was what was bringing Ramblin' Rabbit back to life all this time. And maybe that's why nothing can die in the Funhouse. Perhaps Funhouse Bray isn't letting anything die in the Funhouse. Could be that Abby the Witch dies and the heel glove just brings her back. It could be that heel glove is keeping them all there. And Ramblin' Rabbit, of course, died. Had he have been left alone, then seemingly he would have gone to hell with Vince, but the heel glove brought him back. So for me, a couple of really big moments here. The Undertaker reference at the start, which could be connected to 1119. The fact that the Funhouse is back, and it seems to be that they're going to keep this going. So, the puppets are back, the Funhouse is back. That's big news because we didn't know which way this was going to go. And then, of course, we might have learned what the heel glove has done as well. So we could be building towards an Undertaker feud. We might have learnt a little bit more about the Firefly Funhouse and the heel glove. Some really interesting stuff here. I mean, for a very short episode, And for an episode that seemingly didn't really tell us much, I actually think it was really good. I think it was really good. Let me know your thoughts, guys, down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.